So let's look at this guy. I have a friend that's in Beverly Hills, works in the whole movie industry. I'm not going to say the name, but the bottom line is that this individual, because this person was also involved in art, brought this to my attention. And I want you to look at this. Salzman is a Jewish last name. Is this a pick on the Jews video? Yep. Because you better start learning what's going on here. So here's Salzman, and this guy is a Phoenician fanatic. You go see what you can find on this guy in the art world, and he's a fanatic about Phoenicia. Okay, he thinks they're great. So here he has Saturn, Jewish guy, right? And if you look over here, right, you see the red and blue sun flare. So here we go here. Just read this like a book, folks. It's not hard. So we have Saturn, Salzman, red and blue, right? Because this here is really the fake sun. This is not the real sun. This is a gag. So I'm gonna go somewhere with this. So let's go to his Facebook page, and then we look, and what do we see? These are his photos. See, more about Steve, and he shows the same thing, and then he shows Saturn here, and then he shows the Jewish flag. See, he's giving himself away if you know what to look for. So let's look at this here, this movie. Remember this movie? All the stupid Gentiles went to see it. I watched it on HBO, so I'm not free of guilt. But what is it? Look at the name. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay? It's not lost. They stole it. They're the raiders. The Jews are the raiders of the Lost Ark. They're the ones that carried it around. And if you notice that the Jews in the Bible have the Ark of the Covenant. But what you notice in the movie is the first place that Indiana Jones goes is he doesn't go to Israel. He goes to Tibet. Right? And then, where does he go from there? He doesn't go to Israel. He goes to Egypt, where the Ark was stolen from. That's what the whole running through the desert crap is. Okay? And that probably may have not even happened to here. May have not happened here. Look at me. Look, I want you to think logically with me for a minute. Israel is a blip on the map of the world. When you look at the United Nations flag, it's blue and white. It's Israeli blue. Okay? It's Israeli blue and white. Israel is a blip on the earth, on the face of the earth. Do you not think that if the world hated the Jews as much as the stories have been made out to be, that the world wouldn't have got rid of that place by now? Do you think that the mighty German army couldn't have pummeled the dog shit out of that in World War II? Are you kidding me? The UN is run by one group of people. The countries at the top have collaborated with that same country and have created all of this chaos for your and their entertainment. For you to believe the story that these guys are the good guys and that it's all good and that they have these enemies. They have no enemies. They don't have an enemy because all the countries bow down to them. That's why your children are called kids and they're called children of Saturn. They didn't go to Israel in the movie because they take every precaution to keep that word Saturn and Israel separate. The word Israel in Phoenician means Saturn. So if they're the children of Saturn, Saturn is synonymous with Satan. That makes them the children of the devil. The Ark, it's the technology. It's the same gag. They created a group in Europe called the Masons. They're Druidic. That's all Saturn worship. They got them to use their muscle to go into these lands and kill off the indigenous people that had any kinds of ideas of how this shit works. They did it to the American Indians. They did it to everybody, everywhere. Then they installed a money system and made you a slave to it. Meanwhile, they walk around showing you the same picture day in and day out of a patch over an eye or a hand over an eye, and you see it in videos over and over, and that's them sticking it right up your ass, telling them you only see half the picture, we know the other half. Because we made sure that our textbooks don't tell you the truth. All you have to do is use common sense. If the world really wanted the Jews gone, America and England could not stop it from happening. And when the UN has the same colored flag that the Jews do, and the Jews tout the name, we're the children of Israel, or we're the children of Satan, and 99.99999% of this world worships the same deity, whether they like it or not, whether by choice or whether by deception, it's not hard to figure out that we live in the Garden of Evil, and this is all a big con game. Okay? It's very simple when you just look at the colors and you look at the story. Israel could have been stomped out of existence a billion times, because there's people crazy enough that if they could have pushed a button to wipe them out, they would have. And so the biggest gag of it all is even the people that really do truly hate the Jews don't even know why they hate them for the right reason. They don't know anything about the Ark. They're basing it all off of religious preference instead of the actual fact. There's a lot of stuff going on with being a traitor. It's Jacob. It's the story of Jacob. All you got to do is go read it, and it fits in every way, shape, and form. Common sense would tell you if the world hated the Jews as much as they do, they would be gone. Period. Period. In the Bible, the two stepchildren of Israel are the United States and Manasseh. Okay? Those are the two stepchildren. And because a perfect system of money has been created, those that might attempt to do this are warded off simply by monetary threats called sanctions. This is not hard to figure out. It's the story before the story where all of this shit comes from. In the beginning was the light is the second part of the story, but you assume that it's the first part. It's like I showed you with those two pieces, the Aztec carving and the one about CERN. Is a whole other part of this story, and that's what the Raider of the Lost Ark is. The Jews are the Raider of the Lost Ark. They stole it. It isn't just Noah's Ark. That's just one out of thousands. Go look in the book of Romans in the Bible, and they talk about the pole, the pole, the pole. It's all about them. It's simple. It's easy to figure out. Look at the UN colors. Look at the Jewish flag. Look at the name they give themselves and who they affiliate themselves with. They're the children of Saturn. Look at the color of the robes that the judges in the World Council, the courts wear. They're black. It's all a deception. There are no enemies of Israel. There are individuals that hate them, but there's no big group that wants to come and stop the shit out of them right now. They're all working towards the same thing because they're all enjoying the fruits of their labor at the top. They all together have colluded and drank from the same cup of to deceive the world, and the world's bought into it. The story before the story, I don't know it all. Hardly. I know that there was something that blew up, that there was a technology. You know, I was looking at a crop dusting plane, and these things are huge. And I thought, my God, the guy that sat down to design this and the power behind it, imagine the shit the guys that really knew what the fuck was going on, the crap that they built. That's what CERN's trying to restart. That's what all of this is. It's the Jews are the raiders of the lost ark. And if you notice in that story, they never bring them up, not once. They go everywhere except Israel, because they don't want that word Saturn and Jews coming together. Because once people start making that connection, it really starts opening a shitload of doors and questions about who really is chosen and who ain't. So think about it. This one just cracks me the fuck up every time I see it. I mean, with the amount of studying and understanding that you should have by now, this should be a complete piece of cake. But let's look at it. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Don't you hate these ads? And then I got this. Get this crap out of here. Okay. So what in the movie, the first place they go to is where? Tibet. Why did they go there? Because Hitler believed that that the Tibetans were ancient Indo-Aryans, and that they had information pertaining to how things work here and how to get to the center of the earth and all of that interesting shit. Okay, and the Ark and all of this stuff. Okay, after in the movie, after they went to Tibet, where did they go next? Well, Jones went to Egypt. Who went after him? The Nazis, because all of that shit is really true in the movie. The Nazis did do that because they were trying to get this Ark. Okay, but it isn't the Ark like the way they make it out to be. It's knowledge and information and, you know, high-tech shit. But where didn't they go? That you would have thought that they would have gone in the first fucking place, considering there's a specific group of people that are supposedly tied right to it. And let's see, Nazi forces are searching for a Hebrew Ark, but yet they never went to Israel in the movie. Why didn't they go there? Because anytime you start bringing them people into this thing, okay, there's a chance that they're going to be found out, and they don't want it. Okay? Of all the places that the movie was based off of, they don't go to that country. See, this is what I mean by critical thinking. Why would they go out of their way not to go there? Okay? The Nazis aren't looking for some ancient Hebrew Ark. It's just like I showed you in the Land of the Lost bit. The one group knows the other one's bullshitting. But if they don't pay them off or whatever, they're gonna go tell the rest of the world. Meanwhile, both of them guys are trying to do the same thing. The Nazis and the Jews are doing the same thing. The Jews are the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just technology. There's no deity living in a box. It's old school technology that we can't even fathom how it works. Okay, Hitler did some shit with what's called 0 point, I don't know what the rest of it is, but I'm pretty sure that has something to do with the Holocaust. It's energy. It's a type of energy, but I think it's of a nuclear. I think it's nuclear or atomic, and I think there were some very weird experiments going on. You know, because all of these stories of flying carpets and all of that crap, and then you get into UFOs and all that, but there's some truth in all of it. But the point of this video is, why didn't Indiana Jones go to Israel? I mean, it says right here, the Nazi forces are searching for the ancient Hebrew Ark. Well, wouldn't you go to Israel to look for something? Yet they steer completely away from that because they don't want to bring those guys into the fold because they don't want anybody looking at them. They don't want anybody looking for him, and I bet you any money that this dude is Jewish. This isn't a pick on the Jews' day. Let's call it what it is. If you were looking for something that the Jews were hiding, wouldn't you look in Israel? I mean, if I'm looking for fucking Chinese goods, I'm probably going to look in China. Well, you can look in America now because that's all we got. But normally you look in the land that it's affiliated with. In other words, if you want to talk to people from Missouri, probably going to have to go to Missouri. Because you're not going to find them in fucking Rhode Island. It's critical thinking. It's little shit like this that nobody ever goes, hey, how come those Nazis didn't go into Israel? See, because they're all working together. All these stories that you hear are bullshit. One side knows the other one's bullshit, and so they just work in collaboration. They keep everybody split up. The Vatican and fucking downtown Jerusalem are all the same dudes. How silly that the movie that they didn't go into Israel. Think about it. Now think about the movie after you've seen it. Now you know all of this other stuff. You know, even if we're only 2% right about all of the stuff that we're surmising, why didn't they go into Israel in the movie? because the Jews don't want the spotlight being shined on them unless it has to do with calling in people to go fight wars for them. Okay? Period. That's it. They're all wearing the same outfit. The Jesuits wear black. The Jews wear black when they're in the temple. It's all the same group. The fucking Lutherans wear black. The Catholics wear black. You know, then you get over there to the fucking, Eastern world. Hang on a second. Then you get over there and you get into there to the Eastern world, and what are they doing? They're all running around wearing purple. You know why it's purple? Because purple is the closest you can come to black. There's no other color that comes as close to black as purple does. That's why it's a substitute. See, little critical thinking, little shit like this, like, why didn't they go into Israel? You would have thought it would have been the first place they would have gone. Because they don't want the press. They only want you to believe that they're chosen, and that's it. Anything beyond that, it's none of your business. You need to basically mind your own business. I don't know why my screen keeps flipping around because of these stupid advertisements. But just so you know, that's my point about critical thinking. Yeah, they're looking for Hebrew arcs, so where do they go? They go to Tibet and they go to fucking Egypt. Maybe they're trying to tell you that the Jews don't have all of that stuff. Maybe that's why they didn't go there. There's another twist. Maybe the Jews are telling you some half-truths, or maybe not at all. How about that?